You got mail.
So I'm going number one, the king, sausage.
Saucisse.
Gotta have sausage.
You the sausage king?
I love sausage.
Welcome to everyone's favorite group chat podcast segment. It is the Not Motts Mailbag, sponsored by the Lafourche Concert and Events Club. We appreciate them so much for their support.
Kyle, we appreciate you standing by us because this is our best rated segment by far. And we appreciate you standing by us after last week.
I agree.
We've got a ton of questions. If you've got questions for us in the future, we usually drop a link Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and ask for your questions. We've got a bunch today, so we'll lead off right out of the gate. This is from Jambalaya Mott in Texas. Top 5 things other than seafood or seasoning to add to a crawfish boil.
So top 5, I'm going the goat, mushrooms.
That's one of mine.
Sausage obviously has
One
to
of
be
mine.
in there. Carrots. Ooh, I love me some carrots. Green beans.
Not one of mine.
And an oddball to finish. You put this in there in the soak, so I don't know if this counts or not. Snow crab legs and boudin.
Okay.
It soaks up the flavor. Whenever you're letting the crawfish soak,
I could see that.
Fantastic.
So
But if it breaks up, it's a problem.
I like cauliflower, but it doesn't taste like anything. So when you put it in the seasoning, like you're eating crab boil, which is delicious. And the thing that I would add to that list would be, you already said, potatoes. Yeah, of course, potatoes.
I'm not a carb guy.
So I'm going number one, the king, sausage.
Saucisse.
Gotta have sausage.
You the sausage king?
I love sausage.
Clip to add
In
to this.
the crawfish boil. Love it. I mean, it could be any kind of sausage. It could be smoked sausage. It could be no smoked sausage. Let's just stay there, not like little Smokies and shit.
Those Smokies is good
those
in a
Smokies is
boil.
good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, let me tell you something off topic. If you go to Roland's Mini Mart on like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, they got in a paper bag, and it's soaking wet, the paper bag with all the grease, fried cocktail Smokies. It's the best thing that you've ever eaten.
You could get that.
Gyro's
and
giving me the thumbs up. Is the best thing you've ever eaten.
To it.
You could get that and a 24-foot knife there.
I saw that, and I was like, what? This is real? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go the long way to work tomorrow and take some of that.
So number one, sausage. Number two, I'm a corn guy. I'm good for one corn, like we talked about last week, and I'm fine with after boil soups. Awesome. Need corn in that. Potatoes. It's a kind of a staple, but can't cut the potatoes. Leave the potatoes whole. And it's the little golden potatoes, not the red ones.
What's the difference?
If you cut the potato, I feel like everything's getting slimy and the potatoes breaking up all over the place.
I haven't mastered the boil of potatoes in a crawfish boil. I feel like everything gets slimy. There's a method that I just haven't figured it out yet.
Damien did snow crab legs last time we had a crawfish boil over here. Good stuff. And I ain't even have a fifth because I feel like the more stuff you add to the crawfish boil, everything's taken away a little seasoning, and your crawfish isn't as good as if you would have less stuff. So I'm simplistic.
Carrots, man.
Carrots.
I know you dog.
Mushrooms, good, but I feel like it takes away so much seasoning from everything else.
Okay. Kyle from North Golden Meadow wants to know, if you could resurrect one defunct Down the Bayou event, what would it be and why?
We probably all agree on this one. Super Coon Sunday.
Never did it.
I don't know what that is.
Can't agree or
Y'all too
disagree.
What is that?
When I was growing up, it was basically a Rose versus Cutoff versus Galliano versus Golden Meadow. You get your little team and you compete in volleyball, tug of war, softball probably, and just basically a Bayou Olympics. And it was one day at the Golden Meadow Park. Awesome time to be
Did you
had.
ride a horse and buggy to that event?
No, they had just invented the car.
That does sound like a good time.
This is something that I'm trying to resurrect. I talk to Ball about it once a year, and we say, oh, yeah, for sure. And then we never actually make it happen.
Can I make a suggestion? I feel like Down the Bayou population is crazy different than what it was back in those days. Why don't we do South versus Central versus North? We beat them Thibodeau people's ass. Just throwing that out there.
We're not getting any sponsors from Thibodeau.
I think we will. I think they know we're joking.
They don't listen anyway.
Bull Club Fair is something I wish would get brought back. That was at the Golden Meadow Catholic Church, and it was a huge event as a kid, something I could just walk to that I don't know how my grandparents trusted me to go by myself, but they did. And I believe it got outlawed because the priest that came in didn't want anybody drinking near the church, which obviously that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And my second one, going to sports. I remember participating in this as a kid where they would take 1 or 2 regular season biddy teams and have this tournament over the weekend or
turkey tournament.
Well, I don't remember what it was, but yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Casey, I know when you and I were coaching together in rec, we would schedule some games in Lockport.
Oh, they didn't want any of that smoke.
And those were pretty awesome. We got accused of taking our travel ball team to one of the regular season events. And
it was pretty close, but we drafted well. It's their fault.
We did.
I thought you were going to go with the Knights of Columbus free throw shooting competition.
That's still happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I miss, and I don't care what organization it benefits. I have nothing against cerebral palsy, but if we want to do one for cancer or whatever, I missed the telethon. I think that was pretty cool. I enjoyed working for it. I enjoyed watching it. That's one thing. Another thing I missed, dude, we don't have any fun stuff. We used to have wrestling shows once a month, either at the Centralplex or the Youth Center, whatever, boxing shows. Like, I feel like we got to do some more to try to like get some stuff. And I get it, insurance costs, and like there's stuff that goes into all that stuff. But I would love, and we've been talking about it for a while, but I would love to get Mustang Mike to come and do a show here at the Cutoff Youth Center or wherever. They did one, it was probably about 10 years ago now. That was the last one that they did when you guys booked the whole front row. It's just not often enough. That used to be a once a month thing. Like I remember the wrestlers would go to Adam's Piggly Wiggly and sign autographs during the day, and then they would wrestle at night. Just not enough of that stuff anymore. I wish more of that stuff would come back.
I feel like the people that come do it, they don't promote it correctly, and then they don't get a crowd, and then they get scared away.
Yeah.
And they don't come back. But it would have to be something that would be consistent for specifically our wrestling show every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks.
Give us some storylines.
Yeah, you build some stuff up and roll from there.
We have a concert and events club, right?
Yeah, that's our sponsor, dude.
Come on, Kyle. Let's get on that. Start putting some K-Jam's block party. Let's do some wrestling shows, some boxing shows.
I have a
Kyle
great
does
idea.
A good job of bringing comedy events and different
Sure does.
things like that around. That's pretty neat. And I haven't got a chance to go, but I'm hoping that people support that. Hey, Trap says women's arm wrestling. That was a huge event back in the day. That was a big deal.
Where was it held at?
Any random bar that wanted to.
You know what I wish would be a thing? And I know that this is not something that's going to be a thing anytime soon, maybe 20, 30 years from now. I wish that we could so regulate sports betting to where how we have poker machines in restaurants, I wish we had little sports books at little restaurants like that. And I do it on my app. I get it. But it's just different to go to a sports bar. But I'm telling you right now, one of my dream businesses would be to have a sports bar that does that type of thing. I think that would be huge.
We've talked about doing something like that before.
It's just so hard to get the license to actually have a book.
I'd be legit.
What are your top 3 wrestling intros of all time? This is from Jacob from the Trees at Tidelands, who also may be right across the way from us.
I may have messed with the names.
That's
my favorite part of the mailbag.
Yeah.
The names.
My top 3, I'm going Flair.
Woo!
I'm going Hogan and an oddball, and he's never here, so it's hard to see it. But current Rock is fantastic.
Final boss.
Yep.
I'm going to be specific. Hollywood Hogan, because I like to see him strumming the belt. I am going. And look, I didn't like him as a wrestler, but Prime Goldberg, where they show him walking from the locker room, beating his face in and blowing the smoke out of his nose after he's getting hit by the pyro. So I'm going Goldberg there. And then the last one, and God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. Bray Wyatt would do some cool stuff too.
Yep.
Casey stole my number 1. My number 1 by far was Bray Wyatt. That song was awesome. The fireflies with the people with the cell phones and their little flashlights. The lantern, creepy dudes with them. Bray Wyatt, number 1 entrance of all time.
Yeah.
My number 2, Enzo Amore and Big Cass. With Enzo just talking on the mic, and I don't even remember what song they came out to, but just Enzo's mic skills. I always thought that was awesome. That was the highlight of the night when Enzo and Big Cass would come out. My third one's when you hear that glass break Stone Cold's coming out.
One.
Over.
Let me tell you something.
Down. Like
Let me
Curtis
tell you
Drunk. Curtis, what you doing down what you doing down the entrance
Vince
ramp?
McMahon, Stone Cold, what you doing down my street?
That is a check mark that we have to get every episode.
So you guys could YouTube this. There was, I don't remember what the storyline was. Enzo and Cass were feuding with, I think, like Triple H and them, and they were the Authority. So they unplugged their mics for their little promo. So Enzo does the promo without a mic. And you were
the crowd basically said word for word what he was saying, so he didn't need a mic.
It was insane. They were.
Yeah, that was
nuts.
I got some honorable mentions for this one. New Age Outlaws.
That was good.
Oh, you didn't know?
AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Bo Dallas running down the aisle. But what he used to do?
I think he used to run around the ring a victory lap before he lost.
That was the good stuff.
We got Mustang Mike watching.
Yeah. Hey, look, shout out Mustang Mike in the chat. Mustang and Psycho's techno entrance. Yeah. That was solid.
Do you think Anthony Edwards will step into that face of the league role at some point? This is from Jaro from the Sand Bunker.
That's good stuff. I think the start of the playoffs into the regular season, he had the world by the short and curlies. Now he's getting to that point that he's going to have to win something to get to that next level. Can he be the face of the league at some point? Absolutely. But he's going to have to get to the conference finals, which he's not doing this year, and he's going to have to win something.
I agree with that. He got he's the one that should step up because he's the marketable guy. You got Wembanyama, not very marketable. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, not very marketable. You got a bunch of guys coming up. What's Cade Cunningham? Not all that marketable.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, he sucks. But you got a bunch of guys coming up that Anthony Edwards is the guy that people gravitate towards, and he just needs to win something because you can't just keep making it to the conference finals or I don't know even where they went last year.
Conference finals, I believe.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, his second best player is Julius Randle, who was like the third best player on a bad Pelicans team. So my theory is I think that they're going to get Mike Conley out of there. He's a little old. I think that they're going to be in the market to maybe try to get Drew Holiday this offseason. Rumors are Boston's going to be shopping, trying to get below the tax. Like, let's see. He's only 23 years old. So to answer the question, I think he's going to get there eventually. Obviously, he's not there right now, but he is only 23 years old. So I'm willing to give him another 3-4 years.
Yeah, he's got some time.
Cody from Galliano wants to know what wrestler in history or current wrestler that never held the heavyweight title would you love to put the belt on for a run? I want to go first. The $1 Million Man all day long. I know he had that little thing where he bought the belt. It would have been so legit if the $1 Million Man would have had a run and Hogan would have actually been chasing. That's my answer.
I'm motting you right there with you. And if you don't agree with that, you are not a wrestling purist. Jake Roberts has to be in that discussion as well, as well as Mr. Perfect. That's the three.
Mr. Perfect.
And then you're looking at Arn Anderson on the WCW side. That's guys that probably didn't need it, but would have been a very, very nice to have.
Did you ever hear Jake Roberts tell this story where like he and Hogan were doing tag matches against Boss Man and Akeem? And they had to rip it apart at the house shows because Vince was getting pissed that Jake was getting a bigger pop than Hogan was. Mm-hmm. And it was ruining Hogan's vibe or whatever. So, yeah, I'm with you. Jake Roberts, dude, I know he wasn't the big muscle guy and maybe wasn't the most reliable, had some issues. He was over as hell. And that would have been awesome.
That was my guy, too. Jake the Snake Roberts. Cutting the promo, there was nobody better. Never had to raise his voice. Even talked so low that you can almost not even hear him. And his promos were still amazing. In the ring, he was very smooth, and the whole snake thing, I would have hated to work with that dude. With a snake.
We talk about doing like the watch-alongs or whatever. We need to do one on that Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah. That's so bad.
That would be tremendous.
Yeah, it would be. And I don't think it's copywritten, so we would be able to legally do it.
There's one copy on YouTube, and it's off of like this
VCR.
Yeah, it's a VHS.
When was that?
It was in the mid-90s.
In Bay St. Louis. It was
in Bay St. Louis. Yeah, Jake Roberts was hammered. Wasn't able to wrestle, was supposed to wrestle. Yeah.
You want to play 21?
Murder from Galliano wants to know, give me your top 3 rankings for post-event showers. Mardi Gras, grass cutting, fishing trip, golf day, hurricane cleanup, etc. I know what exactly is he asking here?
After you do one of these things, what shower feels the best?
Yep. So
All right.
He took all my answers.
Yeah,
So-
say grass cutting's up there for sure.
Hurricane cleanup is top notch. When you've been full of mud and getting eaten up by mosquitoes and all dirty, that hurricane cleanup shower, and then probably don't have electricity, so you're just basically sitting in a generator.
That
air
is your
conditioner.
shower.
You take your shower and you just go sit on the sofa with that air conditioner running off a generator, the generator noise, and you just out.
So I didn't even have that in my top 3.
That's
Come
my
on.
favorite.
So I need a regular shower after this. So that's why hurricane didn't make it. And fishing is 3. Because normally when you taking that post-fishing shower, you at a camp or you're at somewhere else. I need to be in my shower to get the full experience. Post-ride Mardi Gras is number 1. You have 100 different things on you, from
I still don't feel clean though.
beads, glitter, from smoke bombs, from whatever else is happening, sweating throughout the day, beer spilled all over you. That's number 1. Most recent?
Drunk. I don't know. I just never feel clean, and I'm still drunk by the time I'm showering.
Most recently, my number 2 spot goes to post 18 holes of golf. That's damn solid. You got to do 4 or 5 showers before you get all the layers of sunscreen off you. You hurting, and then you probably eating something stupid after you're going straight to bed. That's a solid one. And then fishing, like I said, is 3. It used to be my number 1, but it's normally not at the house, and I need to be at the house.
For me, number 1 would be a night out after going to the casino or the bar and you smell like cigarette smoke and smell terrible. That's number 1 for me because I can't do the smoke thing at all.
Drunk cigs or regulars?
Regular cigs. The second one would be probably post-hurricane was, dude, you moving branches and all that stuff. You all dirty. And yeah, the shower water probably is only cold because your hot water heater ain't working, all that good stuff. So that one's probably on the list there. And I'm trying to think. For me, at my work, we do a lot of like baseball and softball stuff where we're in the sun all day. And, that's usually a pretty good one too. You get in after a 3.5 hour baseball game and you're just sitting there getting beat on by the sun. That's usually a pretty relieving shower.
Honorable mention in there is prior to South Lafourche getting the ACs in the press box. Those hot football games, that's a good one as well.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Keegan. Thank you, Brian. Whoever's responsible for getting us that AC, we love you.
And I don't know about post grass cutting because I don't cut grass.
There you go. What is your GOAT road trip carpool karaoke song from Cody Putz from 50 Feet from the Green?
These names are tremendous. I went straight pre-basketball games because that's where normally my road trips are coming from. Rides to the gym. I'm going Tupac, Hit 'Em Up, and the game, We Ain't. That puts me in the mode, and that's normally why I practice arguing with officials.
Okay, fair enough.
It says karaoke, so you singing along, and I feel like there's other people in the car singing along with you. So I'm going to go with Bohemian Rhapsody.
That would have been my answer, USOB.
Overrated.
Come on. Greatest band ever.
Easy come, easy go. Like, dude, come on, man. You got any others?
That was mine.
Now that you stole my answer, I've got to give something else. Thunderstruck, dude. I like to rock out with some Thunderstruck.
I figured it would be Miss Jackson.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo!
Have you ever done the Thunderstruck drinking game?
Oh, no. It sounds fun, though.
Every time they say thunder, you drink.
Okay.
There's a lot of just...
You've been.
Hey,
thunder.
Panel discussion. Going back to the previous question, you mentioned cigarettes. And I know I'm probably going to disagree with this. But if you buy a pack of cigarettes, or let's just say the 4 people you go and play golf with buy a pack of cigarettes just to keep in your bag, the whole pack doesn't get used for, let's say, a month.
Mm-hmm.
Is that considered a drunk cig, or the fact that you're buying it eliminates that?
No, we already had this discussion. If you bought it, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Marcus from LCO, a regular listener and viewer of these podcasts, wants to know, will the SEC and Big Ten really break away from the NCAA? There have been talks about that. What's the end goal? Do you think that this is a good idea? So we talked about this a little bit earlier where Brian Kelly says, hey, we want 9 conference games. We want an automatic game with the Big Ten. That's kind of the first step to the SEC and the Big Ten, just kind of taking over the sport and saying, hey, screw you guys. We're the college football version of the NFL, and we're playing our own league. Is that going to eventually happen? And if so, is it a good idea? I don't think it's going to eventually happen just with them. I do think there is a world where the SEC, Big Ten, Big 12, and ACC eventually form their version of the NFL, where they're going to say, all right, we got a 55, 60 team league here. We're going to play only against each other. We're going to make the schedules balanced. We're going to have divisions, much like the NFL, and we're going to have a Super Bowl at the end. I think that's coming. Do I think that that's good for the sport? In terms of NIL regulation and stuff, yeah, probably so. It's probably the only way to fix a lot of the crap that we got broken. Does it hurt the schools like Nichols? It cripples them, frankly, so it ain't good for them. So it'd be a situation where the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer. Whether you think that's good or not, I don't know. But as an LSU fan, we certainly should like it, but it would be probably pretty good for them. What say you, gentlemen?
I think within 5 to 7 years, you're going to see a Power 4, Power 5 division. What I would really, really like to see, and this is never going to happen, and it's very, very far-fetched, I would like to see a soccer-style format where you got a big
relegation,
a big division, small division. First place moves up, last place moves down. I watched a sim of a guy that's on YouTube that simmed it on the college football game, and he linked up 2 conferences, and it created some crazy, crazy matchups and division. It was pretty neat to see. That'll never happen, but ideally, that would be something I'd like to see.
I wish that relegation would be a thing in the big professional sports leagues. Because you know what wouldn't happen? The Saints and what their last 4 or 5 years and what their next 5 or 6 years would be. That wouldn't happen. Yeah. You can't say after going 21-61, hey, we're going to bring our coach back and we're going to keep the fat-ass superstar on our roster. You can't do that. I would love to, but it obviously never would happen for a couple of reasons. A, because if Seattle has the G League team that's waiting to come up, Seattle ain't supporting the G League team until they're at the big show. So they would go bankrupt while waiting. In Europe with soccer, it's not that way. That second league is still generating crazy interest. In college, though, it's a little bit different. If we have a situation where, like, let's say Boise's on the outskirts and they're waiting on Purdue to lose a game to try to get into the big leagues, I think Boise fans still would support them. So if relegation ever would work, I do think it could maybe work with college athletics.
Let me ask you this, and I don't know. You guys are the soccer folks. Do they have a draft in that league?
So you basically signing free agents. So you have a transfer window every year. If there's a guy that plays for Orlando FC and you are Manchester, if you want to buy that guy from them, you pay him the money.
Yep, you can rent and all that.
And you can get him on loan. You can purchase him, and he's your player now.
So I think even having the draft in that would make it even better, because those lower teams that you just take a spot of, say, New Orleans at a number 1, whoever's taking that spot gets that draft pick and gets to make their team even better.
Can you imagine right now if the Pirates, who are awful, were sweating out the idea of maybe having Paul Skeens get relegated? Here's what would happen. The Pirates would get relegated. Then they would loan Paul Skeens to the Yankees or something. Like it'd be crazy.
It would definitely throw a wrench, and I think that would be awesome.
What professional sports organization that has never won a championship would you like to see win one? This is from Not Murder from a foreclosed house in Galliano. Easy answer for me, the Clippers, right? That would give Harden a ring. That would shut Chop up finally. The Clippers.
Current day, Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Campbell win. Dude's legit. He's weird.
He is weird.
If I had a son, like I would want my kid playing for somebody like that.
I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals for obvious LSU reasons.
Dude, Joe Burrow would be such a GOAT if he fixed LSU's offense, won a natty, and then dropped the Bengals curse on its head and won the Super Bowl. He would be such a legend, more so than what he already is now. Next question from Nick from DTB. See, we don't troll the good people. Nick wants to know, what are your favorite accounts to follow on TikTok? I have a TikTok. Don't even use it. I'm sorry. So I will plug us. Group chat podcasts.
Any hot blonde.
Fair enough.
Brandon Walker is one of my favorite. Brandon from Barstool.
Dude's an idiot.
He is an idiot, but
Frank the Tank, baby.
Yeah. There's a dude that pretends like he's in the 1940s, and he somehow hacked into TikTok, and like he's broadcasting live from his house in the 1940s, is in black and white.
That sounds interesting.
And he's talking to people, and people are asking him a message, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So like he thinks World War II is going on.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the war. Like he's not serving in the war, but he's talking about how he hopes that
his sugar is going to not be rationed tomorrow.
It's good stuff. The guy goes live and he stays in character the whole, like probably 3 hours he's on live.
Send me that.
Good content.
I follow 900 people and I don't know anybody. There's a really fat golf dude that's on Barstool.
Is it
very entertaining?
I think his name is Fat something. Fat Perez. Yeah,
there you go. He is good, but he just looks terrible.
Planet Antonio is the guy I'm talking about. Planet Antonio. Check him out. He has a couple different characters he does, but when he does the old 1940s guy, it's amazing. People call in and talk to him, and he's confused about everything they're talking about, and he's not sure what like they're talking about. Like talking on, I'm talking to you through my phone. He's like, he picks up his like old. It's like I don't even know how you would do that, and
I think that'd be interesting. Okay,
Planet Antonio.
While we were talking about Fat Perez, who's your social media golf goat? Are you a Grant Horvat guy? Are you a Brian Bros? Any of them?
My problem is I watch all these videos and I don't pay attention to who the people are.
Grant Horvat's probably the most popular one, and the reason why I brought it up is he is supposedly got an invite on a sponsor's exemption to play in a PGA Tour event. He's wondering whether or not he should or shouldn't do it. I say, hell yeah. If they invited you, go do it. He's on nervous, like, oh, bro, I'm going to take a spot of somebody who belongs, whatever. I think it's that they suspended Wesley Bryan from the tour because he competed in the YouTube event with Grant Horvat that had some live golf guys on it. They suspended him for a year. You're taking this dude's job away for a year because he competed in like a scramble on YouTube with Phil Mickelson in it. Like, what are we doing? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. They need to get over their butthurt with live golf, because guess what? As much as you guys whine and complain about, oh, bro, they affiliated with the Saudis, every one of the companies that's y'all sponsors are affiliated with the Saudis. Every one of them.
While we're on the TikTok thing, shout out our sponsor, Tommy Botto. His TikTok is very entertaining. Good follow. Educational, interesting.
Tommy was, what was he talking about the other day about video games or something? I saw that on Facebook. Did y'all watch that one?
I don't watch Tommy stuff.
I'm kidding. Listen to this.
I'm kidding. I do.
Just putting them over.
He loses too many 5- and 6-year-old baseball games for me to take him serious.
Speedy from LaRose wants to know, I like this question. Will South Lafourche High School field a girls flag football team now that the LHSSA has approved a 2-year pilot program with the sport becoming sanctioned in the 2027-2028 season?
What season would that be played in?
That's where I think we're going to fail. I think it's going to be a winter sport. And let me tell you, there's way too much soccer and girls basketball in this general Bayou region community. You ain't taking Nyla Lyons away from basketball, though she would be a bomb-ass flag football player. You ain't taking the star forward at Vanderbilt Catholic away from the girls' soccer team, even though she probably would be a bomb-ass wide receiver. And here's my question about it, and here's why I would have some reservations. What's the end game? You play high school sports to learn life lessons, yeah, but also to have a chance to play the next level, right? They know LSU girls flag football teams. If you're a great athlete, why wouldn't you play something that you could play at the next level? So I'm a little leery. I think what we're going to see next would be wrestling at South Lafourche. I think that's coming fairly soon.
I'm on that bandwagon.
And I think what you're also going to see next is a little more of the growth of the powerlifting and that type of stuff, which has grown a lot in the area. I think those things would be a little more quick to come than the flag football.
So I do think we'd be really good. We have some really good female athletes. I've seen some highlights of some of the New Orleans schools playing the girls flag football. It's pretty legit, but I just don't see that happening here.
It's just like at what cost? You're right. If we win and we lined up our 10 best athletes made a flag football team, yeah, we'd be great. But if all of those 10 best kids can't play girls basketball, what are we doing? You're right. It's not happening. So,
and a lot of them would be cheerleading, and there's just so much that they got going on. Where you going to squeeze that in? Let's go back to the wrestling thing.
That's coming.
Let's get wrestling to South Lafourche. If you're good at jiu-jitsu, you're kind of good at wrestling. If you're good at wrestling, you're really good at jiu-jitsu. So let's get a wrestling program at South Lafourche. Wrestling at South Lafourche. Let's do it. 2026.
So
Keegan.
you know a guy, right? Terrebonne has it. Vanderbilt has it. Bourgeois has it. Houma Christian has it. It is growing. Obviously, all the metro schools have it. I believe Hanville and the River schools have it. What they're going to need, and I was talking about this with Brian previously. He said the biggest hurdle they're going to have to climb, not anything to do with the equipment, getting that mat or whatever. That's a couple $1,000. We'll be able to make that happen. The thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to go to the school board and convince them to open up another coaching stipend. That's going to be the biggest hurdle. If they could do that, hey, be good to go. I think it'd be a pretty smooth fix. But sometimes money's tight. But that, according to Brian, was the former AD, said he believes that'd be the biggest hurdle, is getting the school system to open up another coaching stipend in their budget.
Can you put a soapbox under me right now?
Sure.
Can we find somewhere other than a basketball gym to do all this stuff?
Those mats fit perfectly on the basketball court.
They'll fit perfectly in
the commons area.
There's every sport, whether it's dancing, cheerleading, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not crapping on all that stuff because it's extremely valuable. But it always takes the gym. Always, no matter what. I remember being at South Lafourche having to fight for gyms with sports that weren't in season, and everybody wants to take the gym. Find another place to do it. I'm all for it. Just go outside.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Or put us a basketball court outside.
I remember Kylie put some goals on the tennis court one time.
Was that like just a troll move?
No, I think what it was is
we had practice on the football field.
No, I think it was after Ida didn't have a situation like where they were stable to go to Central or whatever, locked down yet. So he was going to go to Walmart and buy a goal and just put it on the tennis court.
I could see him being pissed off that he couldn't have his practice. I'm going to show them, we have to practice outside on the tennis court.
Yeah, I don't think this was a troll move. I think that this was legit.
That's why we practice outside on the football field. And I think it's the same season we had to go find our starting center playing tuba on the football field.
Well, next question from James from Thibodaux. Have you ever changed your opinion on any topic simply because of the people that have the same opinion? 100%.
Absolutely.
I did it today.
I was a huge Saints fan during the Aaron Brooks era. When the Saints got good and everybody claimed to have been a fan their whole life, which was because my whole childhood, the Saints were blacked out on TV because none of y'all went. I jumped off the bandwagon. I was a big Red Sox fan until the Red Sox beat the Yankees and won the World Series the next round. Then everybody's a Red Sox fan. Guess what? Now I ain't a Red Sox fan. So, yeah, I was a fan of some LSU football players in years past. And after all the hype, I wouldn't have nothing against Nussmeier at the beginning of his career. But after everybody wanted him to start over Jaden Daniels and everybody was on Jaden Daniels every week, guess what? I became a huge Jaden Daniels fan just to try to prove everybody wrong. So, yeah, of course, you're talking to 2 people, 3 people here. We live off of those types of trolls, man. That's what we do.
Oh, I agree.
100%, Casey. You just said everything that I wanted to say and everything that I was trying to say. That was a brilliant tirade right there.
And y'all anti-Saints makes me more of a Saints fan. So, yes, I definitely agree.
I pride myself on being anti-bandwagon.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you got a nice neighborhood and then some trashy dude moves into your neighborhood and ruins your property value, you won't want to live there anymore. It's basically the same thing. If you like something and somebody you don't like starts liking it, you kind of got to move on to the next thing. You can't just stay there.
Chop, you're right, dude. You are right. He says, I've got 6 favorite NBA teams since I've known him. Every team that Harden's on. It's not a secret. Now, I will say this. After he retires, I'm going to stay with the Clippers. I like the owner, Ballmer. He's nuts. I'm going to stay with the Clippers. But I like Ballmer, dude. They were in the Lakers' shadow forever. And Ballmer said, that I'm building my own arena. I appreciate that. He's an underdog, but he don't want to be.
So now
underdog.
He has no banners in his arena and he never will.
Hey, maybe so. The wall is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. I like this one from Consuelo. What is your favorite home cooked meal and who cooks it the best? No wimping out on not saying who cooks it the best either. I am a big meat, rice, and gravy fan, and my meemaw makes that the best.
Every Sunday when my great-grandmother, Amy, was alive, she would cook roast, rice, corn. I didn't even know if it was good, but it's such a core memory That's what I'm going with. Also, very close honorable mention. My great-great-grandma, I was lucky she was alive while I was a kid, made this crazy good pineapple sheet cake thing.
Oh, that sounds good.
That was tremendous. And now, the 41-year-old fat ass that I am, I would put that with some vanilla ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
That would be tremendous.
Nikolai?
My grandma Rita used to make some, what she called, it was something in French, and I didn't understand.
Try to
what
say
it was.
Just try to
It was tout oignon or something like that. Translates to something about onions, oignon or whatever. It was just basically number 7 steaks cut up small in a gravy over rice, and it is amazing.
Sounds good.
My grandma actually absolutely crushed it every single time. My mom tried to make it, not so good. Claire makes it now, and she's getting closer every single time. Shout out Claire. We're a little tout oignon thing, but my grandma absolutely crushed it, and nobody's been able to top it.
Hey, Casey, if you're a rice and gravy fan and you were in the Lafayette area, Fezzo's has a tremendous.
What do they have on there? What's it called?
Rice and gravy.
Fezzoignon.
I never know what to order when I go there.
I haven't had anything that's bad there.
Big Steve makes some mean brisket. I think I've shared some of that with y'all sometimes before. He makes some mean
Not
brisket.
often enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I just got asked a live question from a listener. Abby wants us to chime in on Uncle Donnie pardoning Young Boy and the Chrisleys.
The Chrisleys.
The Chrisley, dude. The Chrisleys stole millions of dollars. Uncle Donnie said, hey, y'all good? Why is the Tiger King still in prison, Uncle Donnie?
Did he actually sign the pardon?
Yeah, it's done as of today.
It wasn't an auto pin?
Oh, he actually signed.
He has the right to do it, so whatever.
The Chrisleys. That's the same people that had the show on
That aggravating ass show after
Everybody
Raw.
loves the Chrisleys.
What the hell did they do? I'm not in
Tax
Chrisleys
fraud, and they apparently like defrauded a company out of $3 million or something like that.
that cringy guy.
Yeah.
The dad.
Yeah. I guess this will be canceled now that they're pardoned. They were about ready to start a new season of the show with the kids as the stars and the parents appearing via phone from prison.
What the hell
100%.
happened to Savannah Chrisley? Oh, nothing.
That's the daughter. Yeah, she's good.
That's the one I was concerned about.
So, hey, I didn't tell you guys this. I talked to Joe Exotic on Twitter last week.
Get out of here.
I did.
From
He's
prison?
I thought he was out of prison.
No. He's still in jail. He runs a Twitter. I guess so. He's either
never going to financially recover from this.
That was such a good show.
There was nothing in the history of the world better timed than the Tiger King.
So Tiger King shares on Twitter, which apparently he tweets all day long from prison. He shares a story from, this is called Porn Magazine or something like that. It's a porno magazine. And it's a reporter who has the headline saying, it's past time, Donald Trump should pardon the Tiger King. And Tiger King shared that. And it was like, finally, a reputable reporter, sharing my story. And I subtweeted that and I said, I'm on your side, bro, but the dude's a porn writer. And he replied back, yeah, you're right, but it is also finally somebody sharing my side of the story. I take pride in that. I talked to the Tiger King last week, baby. It was beautiful.
He got framed by Carol Baskin.
Did she feed her husband to the alligators?
Absolutely.
100%.
No, the Tigers.
Oh, yeah, alligators. Tigers, yeah, you're right.
Nick,
That would have been a good swerve if she fed him to alligators. Everybody's looking at the Tigers.
How did he get his phone in prison? He said last week you couldn't get your phone.
I don't know. He might have a web TV or something.
Did y'all see the second season of Tiger King? I'm pretty sure.
Seen everything.
I'm pretty sure the husband's in Costa Rica. Right?
The second season was kind of bad, though. Wasn't that just somebody who researched it and he was talking about it?
Oh, yeah, your boy's in jail. They can't follow him around anymore. I am pretty sure that your boy is disappeared and in Costa Rica. I don't think he was fed to
the husband,
Tiger.
Carol Baskin's husband.
They had some pretty good evidence that
a wife like Carol Baskin, that might not have been that bad of an idea.
next time she goes live, let's bombard her and troll.
She goes live on?
Her kitty place or whatever.
TikTok?
Facebook.
Carol Baskin's about to get it.
Let's go on her live and get blocked.
Some of those songs that came out post Tiger King.
Oh, that was the big TikTok craze at one point.
Think we can make Carol Baskin switch from heel to babyface on her own videos over again with trolling?
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked her. Can't convince me that it didn't happen.
That's great.
That is great.
Tigers, they snack it. What happened? Carol.
Sorry, I thought we needed some background music.
Best basketball shoe of all time, brand and model from Pierce from Golden Meadow. Whew, I can tell you the ones that I went the longest links to get. And this was when I was in 7th grade. The old Iversons. They were white and black, and it almost made like a little 8 on the side of the shoe. Pierce will know exactly what we're talking about. We were in the same grade. Everybody, when we were in 7th and 8th grade, had them. They were like the Iverson 2s or 3s or whatever. Oh, Lord.
The questions or the answers?
What's that?
That was the first shoes that Iverson had. One of them was the answer, and one of them was the question.
Everybody wanted them. We couldn't find them at home, and we had to go to New Orleans.
My dad even had Iverson shoes.
Come on.
Yeah.
These. Looks like the answer 3s. These.
Okay.
The black and white ones?
Black and white.
I don't remember those. What the ones that almost look like a shell toe?
Yeah, it's like almost like the little black design. Yeah, they were the shoes that everybody when I was in 7th and 8th grade had. It was the team shoe of gold medal that year, and we went to the ends of the earth to find those.
So the OG Iversons, they just released Reebok just released them golf shoes, and they're like $250.
Ooh,
yeah, not getting those. So this is an easy answer. The OG Jordan 11s.
Yeah.
That's zero debate right there. That's the patent leathers. It's a classic shoe. A lot of folks are in love with that. And what really makes me happy is that a lot of Duke fans are in love with those shoes. And a lot of Duke fans have Michael Jordan as their best player. And to have to support a person like that from a rival school is tremendous as a UNC fan.
But my answer, Damien took a Jordan 11s, best basketball shoe ever. But my honorable mention would be just Reebok pumps. I know the Andre Agassi Reebok pumps aren't basketball shoes, but those were the best pumps ever.
Has there ever been a business move in the history of business smarter than Nike in Jordan's rookie season saying, I know you got to wear a solid color shoe. We don't care. We're paying the fine. A lot of people don't know that story. Jordan got fined by the NBA every single game for wearing those shoes. Nike said, write it out, MJ, swallow the fine. NBA eventually lifted the rule, and now Michael Jordan is a billionaire because of that decision.
Ever saw that movie?
It's a good movie.
It's a good
movie.
Yep.
What's your answer, Nick?
It's kind of weird that he never actually showed Jordan, just like over his shoulder or his silhouette or something like that. It was kind of weird.
Did you guys see that he is going to be an NBA analyst next year for NBC?
I did see that.
What's that going to be? We've never seen him speak before, except for The Last Dance. Since he retired, he's completely disappeared. He's never really made public appearances. We've heard Charles Barkley say before that they're not even friends anymore, but Charles Barkley was making fun of the Bobcats and the Hornets with MJ running the team, and Jordan got butthurt about it. I feel like LeBron and this age of stars are better to get slammed by old MJ. I feel like MJ is going to come out and he's going to lay the lumber on these people.
The ideal thing to do with him would be to put him on some type of sports betting show because he'd be tremendous. or he'd be terrible and lose a bunch of money. But nah, he's old school, man. He's going to tell the truth. But that's a good point. He's never really been in that broadcast setting. A lot of old NBA folks go to regional television, cut their teeth there, and then end up on ESPN or whatever. But if Perkins could have a freaking job right now, that dude's going through some mental right now. He's insane.
Is there a world where he's just like really bad? Drew Brees was so bad at it, he got fired after 1 year. Is there a world where the GOAT is only the GOAT of playing basketball and he wasn't a good owner, wasn't a good executive? Like, is there a world where he just sucks and is not well-spoken?
It's possible, but the last GOAT that got into television is doing a pretty damn good job right now, Nick Saban.
Yeah, Tom Brady ain't doing too bad either. So, fair point.
He's in that conversation there.
Fair point.
He may at the lead of the conversation.
What about you, Nick? You're looking forward to hearing what MJ got to say?
Even if he's no good at it, he's still better than half the people you see on ESPN. The guy, he's knowledgeable. He could just alpha anybody that he's talking about basketball to. And if he's nice, if he wants to alpha people, that's going to be even more fun to watch. So let's see how he does.
Jamel Hill had a show
She's
for
terrible.
years, so he'll be all right.
The Chopper's told me his levels of trolling. He's like, dude, I troll you all the time, but I actually like you. He says, no, I troll Jamel Hill trying to get her to slit her wrist. You know, there's levels to this. I'm happy to be on the right end of the Chop spectrum. What is your go-to place for hot wings, and what's the most wings you've ever taken down in a single sitting? This is from Jason from B&R Lane.
Find the little lane and go to Meadow, B&R.
Overrated.
Later,
B&R?
bud.
B&R is way overrated.
Go-to plays. I like Hooters. I mean, I know that we've talked about how the waitresses smoke weed in the bathroom and stuff a couple shows ago, but Hooters, most in a sitting. I'm not a big wing guy. I ain't gonna lie. Probably not very many.
Definitely. Benny B's.
Hey, yeah, that's
Galliano.
good. That's a good
Awesome
answer.
place.
I didn't think of them.
Wings are good. Service is good. Owner's good.
Oh, Vu.
But I can't eat 30 wings or 20 wings. Give me like 4 or 6 boneless wings and I'm good.
My guy.
Boneless.
Chicken nuggets.
My guy.
Boneless wings,
Chicken nuggets.
tenders.
My guy. It is chicken nuggets, but that's better than navigating through that
Playing around
damn
with
bone.
Damn bones,
Just
bro.
eat a tender.
What's your answer?
Under the radar wings locally is, and you wouldn't think of this, is La Casa.
Come on.
La Casa, I don't care for a lot of their other stuff, but somebody turned me on to that. They're spicy. They have to be marinated. That's one of my favorites locally. And then as far as the most, man, college was a bad time for me. We used to go to Hooters a lot.
Oh, we had pluckers in Baton Rouge too. We used to get in trouble with it.
The manager of the Hooters in Lafayette also ran a cable access show. He's a huge wrestling fan. You would answer these trivia questions, and at the time, we pretty much knew everything. You would get $25 at Hooters or whatever the prize was. Guaranteed I could house 40 wings at that time. Rocky Keefe says Bentley Wings at Hooters in Lafayette for the win. That's the place.
That's Rocky that you're talking to, the elite dancer on social media, Rocky?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Friday morning dance. Almost texted him prior to come talk some LSU baseball with us. Like I said, Ryan's buffet wings were elite. That's something I've never had.
Ryan's buffet.
We've gone to Ryan several times, never gotten the wings there.
I don't remember.
I would always be like macaroni, fried chicken. While we're talking restaurant stuff, and we were talking about our favorite dishes earlier, I got something the other day that I would never have ordered on my own. I was just kind of like eating somebody else's leftovers because I was hungry. You go to Texas Roadhouse, get the beef tips with mashed potatoes and gravy. Bruh, that's banging. The mashed potatoes is really good, but the beef tips, it's little cubes of steak. It's delicious. It's meat and rice, but the meat isn't roast. It's steak. It was absolutely delicious.
Texas Roadhouse, not on my list.
Texas Roadhouse, top of my list.
You just made the list. Best brand / flavor of sunflower seeds, Coach Brickma from the north side of Chicago.
Heard he heats up ice cubes.
I'm glad at least one of y'all got that one.
Hey,
Coach Brickma, popping the sunflowers.
currently stuck on the Chinook brand. I accidentally bought an entire case thinking that I was just getting some type of variety bag. I got a case. The garlic parmesan are a freaking hit.
That sounds good. Might need to borrow some of that.
You could have some because I definitely have a bunch. And Nick, you're going to have to educate me. The David sunflower seeds, the sweet, what is it?
Sweet and salty and spicy and salty or something like that.
I thought I had sweet in it.
Sweet and spicy.
Those,
Sweet and spicy, I believe it is.
they're hard to find,
Yes,
but they are
I got
fantastic.
some on Amazon. Two something a bag. Get 10 bags at a time.
It's sweet and salt. Oh, there's
There's
two.
a sweet and salty, and there's a spicy and
I never had the sweet and spicy.
the red and purple. The
There's-
orange and purple bag.
I like Biggs Old Bay. That's old school. That's one of my favorites. Tastes like crab boil.
Old Bay.
Salty.
Throw it in their long grass, bro.
Yeah, Case, you could throw them Old Bay in long grass.
Throw that in that long grass.
I like Old Bay, man. There's a big brand, and look, I see it at the truck stops and stuff, and I don't have the balls to get it. It just says across the bag, fire. I know I'm going to get this, and it's going to be too hot for me to even do anything with it, but maybe I'll get some, and I'll bring them here, and I'll eat them during the show. You guys can watch me choke during the live broadcast.
Oh, the Scotty A.
Pull the Scotty A.
I stick to David. I got some other sunflower seed brand that's always sending me ads on TikTok, but I stick to David. Right now, cracked pepper,
That's good.
top notch.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
then there's the sweet and spicy. Those are my two, and barbecue. I'll never give up on my barbecue sunflower.
Old school barbecue. I feel like if you go to Amazon or if you go to David's website, I feel like there's a bunch of obscure flavors that we probably don't even know anything about. And I feel like we should probably do that one day. Find the most obscure that we could find on the internet.
There's new ones, nacho cheese, and no.
Eric said Spitz Cool Ranch Dorito seeds are pretty good.
It pisses me off, by the way, that Spitz has went from $2 for $1 to now one is $1.50.
Yeah, I feel like that's the cheapo brand.
Freaking Trump tariff. Last question on the list comes from Pierce from Central Golden Meadow. This is the old turtle bet. Nick, you're going to like this one. Would you take this bet? If you had 3 shots from half court, 3 shots. If you make 1, you get $2 million. If you miss all 3, you go into the clink for 3 years.
First of all, jail ain't that bad. Second of all, I am confident. It depends on the building. Cutoff Youth Center on money backwards from half court. South Lafourche High School, they have a speaker that hangs a little too low right in the path of the ball. I've hit some backwards half courts at South Lafourche, but that speaker gets me most of the time.
If we go to Cutoff Youth Center right now, you're not making one of your first 3 shots.
I guarantee you I do.
Nick,
This All-Star season, I did not miss. I shoot it maybe 4 or 5 times during the season for practice. I did not miss.
Well,
all year.
we're taking the show on the road.
So what word did you just say?
Practice.
Okay. I've seen you go head-to-head against Pierre the Pelican.
Beat him.
You made
Beat him.
1 out of 50. When the pressure's on,
50. It was
you
maybe-
crumble.
It was maybe
You crumble.
15 to 20.
You absolutely
Well, I mean,
crumble.
that's how I
under
play
pressure.
basketball.
Exactly.
That's
That's,
how I play
where I'm going.
basketball.
There's no way you're going to make these shots. You're facing jail.
Been
3
done
years
that.
in the clink. Not
years.
5 days,
Wow.
3 years.
I mean, I'm going to escape.
It sounds like it's too easy, according to what the
I'm going
inmates
to
say.
escape that I'm going to just stay in New Orleans and try to
Just get some face tattoos.
How stupid is Latoya, by the way? Whenever it was
She's
down
the
to
worst.
5, she said, "Oh, yeah, we got intel that all 5 of them are still in the city. 3 of the 5 have been arrested.
In
Not
Texas.
a single one of them was in the city.
Par for the
None.
course for her. For
None.
Sure. So my answer, not a chance in hell. There's no shower spaghetti or open invitation showers in my future at all, unless we leave in backs after a wrestling show.
God, we're going to have to tell like the real story of that one day.
We're going to introduce some new segments. One of them is going to be some shorts. It'll be some story time.
How close we were to getting arrested on felony charges and needing Tommy's big-time legal assistance to get us out of.
I might have to call 44444.
Oh, low blow. He's coming. Take back Caroline's mixer for sure. That is all for our Motts Mailbag. We appreciate you guys so much for your questions on social media, and you'll be able to send us your questions. We are going to do this every week throughout the course of the summer leading into the football season. We appreciate you guys' participation. For Nick and Damien, this is Casey signing off. Thanks so much for listening to the Not Motts Mailbag, brought to you by the Lafourche Concert and Events Club.